So it's actually going to be his first game back today. He's had a few family commitments pre-season and leading into the season, so he hasn't had as much of a pre-season as he would have liked. So I think Jeff was keen for him to play last week, and he opted to leave it till today. So I just saw him a few minutes ago, and he was shaking his head and thinking that I think he would have preferred to be lying on the couch in the lounge. So
watching the ARL TV live stream.
Pretty much.
And just on the live stream, how have you found it, when your leadership group here in regards to what the Auckland Rugby League is doing?
Yeah, it's a really good setup. We love having any opportunity that we can to show the park, obviously, and get some mentions for our sponsors, some support of them.
So I want to talk about that with you too. So I know you've got, we spoke about Mike, and Mike's a fab, he was down here this morning helping us set up and what have you. And I mean, you've got 17, 18 sponsors. Let's get a wee bit of value for them and give them a shout out. So who do we need to talk to?
Oh, you're not going to make me read this list because it's all weird, and I don't have my glasses with me. But what Mike Phillips, our club captain, went out and did was a little bit of a new initiative this year, and as far as he went and got individual sponsors for 1 to 17 for the Premier Strip. So he secured all of those, secured a significant individual North City Reinforcing Limited sponsorship. So John Pike and Sharon Karoy have been major supporters of the club for a number of years, and then a number of other supporters and sponsors, lesser value but equally as important to us. So yeah, really it was a huge initiative on Mike's part and took a lot of pressure off the committee having to secure that. Yeah,
and how valuable are the volunteers, without them, from basically setting up fields to pulling in sponsorship money. Look, in regards to, we're sort of coming into the season now, a little bit, let's talk to the start. What's your expectations, and how do you think the club's been travelling, the team's been travelling?
Expectations is obviously we'd like to secure, we'd like to win the Fox, obviously. That's what our aim is. And then obviously build on the teams and just have that depth right throughout the club, right from our little under sixes the whole way through. So we just really want to keep driving and focusing on all the good things we think we're doing. We've had a group of volunteers running skills and drills for the kids every other week, and we think we're getting good numbers. We had the Holiday Blast program that the ARL ran the other day,
and
that was awesome.
Good numbers. I came down and had a look. There was a lot of kids here, so it was
it was good, and it's just baby steps. So yeah, we're just chugging along. But I mean, we've been here for 108 years, so we must be doing something right.
Awesome. And look, finally, in regards to the club, hosting the SAS Fox game today, and obviously the live stream, and want to thank you for that. We always love coming here. You guys are always passionate about the football. What could you expect if you've got nothing on today and you want to come down here and be in the tropics with us? Oh yeah, so I've just put a post up on our Facebook page. So we've got the semi-big screen going inside the club room, so it's nice and warm in there. We've got the kitchens open, tuck shops open, bars open. And so there's still an opportunity for people to come down, support the boys, almost on the sideline, stay dry, and watch a good game of footy. Awesome. Well, look, on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, once again, thanks very much for hosting us. No problem. I know that Corey's going to be catching up with the head coach from the Northcote Tigers very shortly. And, we're just so pleased to be here and looking forward to a great game of football. Can I just give one little shout out? Absolutely. Okay, I'd just like to shout out to my nephew, Matt. G'day, Matt. Yeah, so Matt's currently just had an operation not so long ago. He's in the Otara spinal unit, and he's been a little bit of an instrumental in making sure that Dylan got back here at Tigers this year. So shout out to Matt, and hopefully we get that 2 points on the board today. Godspeed, Matt, and on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, we hope you get better soon, mate. Okay, we're going to throw back to the action on the field now as we get ready for Corey and the head coach interviews. And if you've got nothing on today, please come down and join us. Bring a wetsuit and a raincoat, and come and join the action. So you might, as we're still on there, we're back live now, and here we go.
And so we are now joined by head coach of the Northcote Tigers, Jeff Morton. And as we build towards kickoff in this one, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick update. May have a slight delay to our kickoff time, given that there is unfortunately an injured player in the background there, so an ambulance on its way to help the player out. So maybe a slight delay as we build towards kickoff. But in the meantime, it is time to catch up with Jeff Morton. And Jeff, well, winners in round one, but 2 back-to-back losses, a tough fortnight for you guys, obviously playing Mount Albert and Glenora. What's the vibe like in the team, mate?
Yeah, no, the vibe's good, mate. The boys played very, very well against Mount Albert. We were just a little bit unlucky in that with a couple of things, but last week against Glenora wasn't flash. Defensively, we weren't up to it, and they just weren't switched on for it. So we've learned a little bit from that, and hopefully we can turn around today.
A bit battered and bruised as well. I think Taylor Daniels carrying a bit of a knock into this game, and you've lost Matthew Tafutu as well, so a few injuries.
Yeah, there's Morgie Cook's out as well at fullback. Yeah, it happens. Mate, first time in a long time we've actually got some quality depth in reserves, so it's making things a lot easier when we bring players up, so it's good.
You mentioned some of the depth there. You've brought some boys in this year who have added plenty, so I'm pretty happy with sort of the shape of your squad right now compared to sort of this time last year?
Yeah, it's not really bringing players in. These are kids that just showed up at training. You know, a couple of kids from down south, a couple of boys from other clubs that have come over, but you know, we chased a couple, weren't in the running money-wise, so be it. But no, that's the look. The kids that are showing up are quality players. It's meant that this year's team's picking up as far as the levels they can play at. It's all up to them now, eh?
Now you do have a very special in today, the return of the King of Northcote, let's call him that today, Dylan Moses, back at the club. Obviously went over to Point Chev, was sort of the spearhead of their success over the last few years. What does Dylan bring to this club this year?
Experience. That's probably the biggest thing he's going to bring to us is that the talk, he's knowledgeable about football. There's not much he doesn't understand or know. He can pass it on to the younger ones that are still, in that learning curve. And he's just got some nice touches about him. He's good for the boys.
You've named him on the bench, obviously, first game for the year, ease him into it. You see him playing mainly in the middle of the park or some halves for you?
Oh, probably a little bit of both.
Okay, yeah. And obviously, looking ahead to Papakura, they're without a win so far, but they've got some talented boys in that team, particularly in the forward pack.
Oh, look, they've been a bit unlucky. I think they've been unlucky last week from what I'm hearing. They've put on some good performances so far. They're always strong. So, yeah, we don't expect anything else but a physical, strong game of football from them.
The conditions today, does it favour either team, or is it going to be equally difficult, regardless?
I think it's going to be whoever switches on them earliest. Gets their sets done, gets their kicks, gets their chase working. That's who'll end up winning the game of footy.
Thanks for joining us, Jeff. We'll let you go and finish warming the boys up. All the best today.
Cheers, thanks.
So we're now going to throw back to the boys warming up in the background there as we count off the kickoff here in round 4 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. As we mentioned, a slight delay as we deal with an injured player on the backfield there, but we are building up towards kickoff here. Next up, we're going to hear from the Papakura Sea Eagles coach, Roman Hefo. Very pleased to now be joined by head coach of Papakura Sea Eagles, Roman Hefo. Well, Roman, we can see there that you've been out warming the boys up, mate. Torrid conditions today. How does that affect your game plan today?
Oh, I suppose, like with the footy, you got to hold on to the ball and just got to play what's obviously in front of you. We expect that there's going to be mistakes and stuff like that. I suppose it's he can hold on to the ball the longest and who can execute and play their sets out, really.
Bit unlucky last week by all accounts, but what's the feeling in the team? Obviously without a victory so far, but some pretty positive performances along the way.
Yeah, I suppose we look at the last 3 games and those gaps are just narrowing down, and our defense has improved dramatically. And I suppose I've got a bunch of new guys in our squad this year, and we're just on that rebuilding phase, and we're not too fussed really on results. It's what we can control on the day and how we can fix it on a week-to-week basis, really.
Still some real class in your team. Obviously, Willie Stow is one of the best halves in this competition over a number of years now, but also some good new additions in the likes of Phoenix Hunt and Jamal Hunt, who are adding plenty for your side.
Oh, definitely. You know, they add that, you know, their spark, and, you know, just obviously having those older heads just nurturing and just guiding them around the field. You know, you give these guys the ball, and they're quite dangerous, you know, early ball, and yeah, they can just make anything out of nothing, really.
I think Phoenix Hunt in particular, you would have been heavily involved with at Otahuhu College. So how nice is it from your point of view to see these boys go over, spend a bit of time in Australia, and come back now, you know, no doubt much better players, and also, you know, grown men?
Oh, definitely. You know, like to see these guys, you know, develop throughout the years, and to be a part of it as well. It's quite exciting, you know, to have them back, and it's a pretty easy transition for them, really. You know, they know my processes and what I'm about, and how I function. So for them to adapt easily into the game, and to have it, you know, to start the season off good is a big win for me, really.
You've had a sort of assistant coaching role, I guess, over the last few years, as well as a playing role. So have you changed much compared to what you've been doing the last couple of seasons at the club?
Not too much, really. I haven't changed too much. I suppose I'm quite fortunate in the sense of still having a lot of my older heads still around in the club. I suppose they understand the systems that I have in place, and I suppose it's just trying to get the guys from the other, you know, that's new to the club, understanding their system. And, you know, sometimes it's not, you know, they won't pick it up in the first year, but I suppose once everybody clicks and everybody understands it, things should roll smoothly.
You've got two dummy halves on the bench by the look of it, Phoenix Hunt and Kimi Uasi.
Yep.
What's the thinking there? You're not going to make Kimi play the front row or anything like that?
No, I'm quite fortunate. You know, Kimi's been around in the game for so long, and Kimi can actually play in several positions. He can play out in the backs, he can play in the forwards, you know, so to be able to have somebody that's quite adaptable to the game, I suppose not many clubs have their option, and I do, so, you know, it's good to have somebody like him sliding in, and it obviously doesn't add too much disruption into my squad with the reshuffles, and it's just a matter of Kimi adapting to whatever the role I give him.
And just finally, the thought on the Northcote Tigers, obviously one of the real surprise packets of last year. You played them a couple of times. What are you expecting from them today?
Well, look, I've played Northcote the past, you know, for how long, and they just have that never die attitude, and you know, I suppose a lot of teams underestimate Northcote, and I find that I actually have to pick up my intensity like 5 times when I come over to Northcote, and you know, they never surprise. You know, they come out guns blazing. So for us, we just got to hold on to the ball and just complete our sets. You know, they play a nice fast game, and they got a pretty mobile pack too. So we just got to win those rucks.
Roman, thanks for joining us. All the best today.
Thanks.
So we're now going to throw back to the two teams warming up behind us here as we build towards kickoff in round 4 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we count down the final 10 minutes or so to kick off here in round 4 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. The feature match of the day, we're going to see the Northcote Tigers taking on the Papakura Sea Eagles, and we had our curtain raiser, which concluded just a few moments ago, with the Ponsonby Ponies getting up for a 24-12 victory over the Manurewa Marlins in that one. So just a slight delay to proceedings here as one of the Manurewa players is helped from the field, and unfortunately an injury late in that game there required a little bit of medical attention, so a little slight disruption to our build-up to this one. But we are all guns blazing, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to go. So just taking a look now at some of the results from last weekend in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, and starting with the Northcote Tigers, who went down at 34-12 against the Glenora Bears. Northcote pretty disappointed with their defensive effort in particular in that one. And remembering Northcote, one of the real sort of fast finishes of last season, one of the surprise packets. And they, after starting the season with a victory, have had a tough fortnight going down to the Mount Albert Lions and obviously Glenora last week. The Otahu Leopards, well, they continue their strong start back to life in the First Division. 30 points to 12 winners over the Richmond Bulldogs, who remain near the bottom of the ladder there without a victory. They'll go searching for one today against Mangere East Hawks. Mount Albert, well, they survived a late scare from the Marist Saints. They led comfortably at one stage, but were run down late, eventually finishing 28-20 winners over the Marist Saints. They remain one of 3 undefeated teams at the top of the table. Out at Paparoa Park, out east, the Howick Hornets, well, they raced out to a huge halftime lead. It was 42-6 at halftime. Mangere East came back strong in the second half, scored a number of tries unanswered, before eventually going down 52-34. Perhaps the scoreline in that one not quite reflecting Mangere East's effort in the second half. And Papakura, well, they were desperately unlucky last week, denied by a late final minute field goal to Tevin Arona, his second match-winning field goal in 3 weeks. They won that one 11 points to 10 over Papakura. Point Chevalier as well, remaining one of those 3 unbeaten teams at the top of the ladder. So that is the action from last week in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Of course, the third week of the competition now. Our first double-header today involving the second division, the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup. We'll now take a little look at some of the other action going on around the grounds today in the Fox. Of course, a number of games happening across Auckland today with the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup matches going on as well. So Otahu are going to play Point Chevalier. They will be host to the Pirates there at Burt Henham Park. Otahu aiming for their 3rd victory since returning to the First Division. Point Chevalier looking to protect that perfect start to the season. Mount Albert and Howick. Now that one, a bit of a rivalry game really. Howick have had the number on Mount Albert in the last few years. It's a real bogey match for Mount Albert. And of course, that one dates back as recently as last year's minor semi-final when Howick defeated Mount Albert in that one. So no doubt a good grudge match there, and a couple of big personalities sure to clash in that one. Some players that have changed clubs there this year as well. Reece Joyce, Royden Gillett and Trent Bishop set to come up against their former club as well. Richmond take on Mangere East at Greyland Park. Now that one an intriguing one. Mangere East sitting on 1 victory. Richmond still to get their breakthrough win for the year. They will go hunting for that here in week 4. And the Glenora Bears and the Marist Saints round out the round. Now that one, again, Marist searching for their first victory. Glenora, after being upset in round 1, picked up 2 victories on the trot and look to have got things back to sort of normal service resumed. So we're about 5 minutes away from kickoff here, ladies and gentlemen, as we build towards our 4th live stream game in the First Division for this year. Northcote, they welcome back Dylan Moses for the first time this year. He's transferred back across from Point Chevalier after really being the leader of their era of dominance at Walker Park. He comes back to his junior club where he joins fellow Auckland Rugby League Player of the Year Taylor Daniels as well. So looking forward to seeing Dylan get his first run. Just a little look at some of the other action going on in the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup today. If you are out and about, ladies and gentlemen, and want to get to a game, Bay Roskill host the Northern Brothers. The Northern Brothers, that's going to be their first ever competitive game. They had the bye in week 1, so interesting to see what that club's got. That's an amalgamation of the East Coast Bays and Glenfield clubs who have come together to form a Sharman Cup side. Ellerslie at home to Otara. Otara picking up a big victory in round 1, just edging past Ponsonby Ponies 34-32. That's a quality win for them. They'll be looking to build on that. Papatoetoe, well, they were soundly beaten in round 1. They take on the newcomers, the Franklin Storm, who earned a 16-all draw with the Manurewa Marlins in round 1. while New Lynn are at home to the Hibiscus Coast Raiders. Mount Wellington and Te Atatu meet. Te Atatu in their second game back down in the second division after spending last year in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. And the Waitemata Seagulls and Pakuranga Jaguars round out the round, with the Manukau Magpies sitting on the bye this week. So that is the wrap of the action happening around the grounds as we count down the final couple of minutes to kick off here at Birkenhead War Memorial Park. We'll now take a little look at the team lists and the respective teams who are going to take the field today, as I welcome Troy Hardy back into the commentary booth. And Troy, plenty going on today.
There's a lot more going on. I've made a breath. Oh, mate, there's a lot more than going on than just football today. So the referees have just joined us and they're getting all warmed up. They love the tropics down here at the Tigers Den. The young fella that had an injury in the first game, the Manurewa player, they had him on the laughing gas. And he was, a wee bit worse for wear. However, he's in safe hands now. So to the mum and dad and the family of that player, everything's all good. Ambulance has arrived and they're giving him medical attention now, hence a little bit of delay as we get ready. Match manager's on site and he's getting things all sorted, and the players will be coming out very shortly, mate.
So let's take a little look at how the two teams will line up, and there are some changes to that advertised on your screen. It's Ahmad Tully at the back for Northcote. James Waterston and Ted Donnelly are the wingers. In the centres, Casey Smith and Nalu Tuigamala. The halves, Canterbury's Jordan Tiaho joins Eko Malu, and in the front row, Eddie Finota joins Trent Shomkel with Josiah Afu, the dummy half. Fitiora Davis, Taylor Daniels and Xavier Rice are the back row. And on the bench, Joe Bywater, the man of the moment, Dylan Moses, Tamati Leach and Manueli Vetinabua. Now looking to the away team, the Papakura Sea Eagles. And at the back it is Samuel Nati. The wingers are Junior Napara and Aquila Tuha. The centres are Queenie Ropati and Rory Marshall-Barton. The halves, Willie Stowers and Evian Hunt. Up front in the engine room, Zion Tussesi, he is the co-captain along with Stowers, joined by Albert Scott up front. Sheldon Rogers is the dummy half. The back row is Elijah Mercury Liafa and Sam Ikahihifo, with Jamal Hunt wearing the number 20, but he's going to start locking the scrum. On the bench, Jamal's little brother Phoenix Hunt wears the number 14, Sydney Eni, Eli Kimuasi and Tuiloma Footy. So that is how your two teams will take the field today, ladies and gentlemen. Northcote looking for their second victory of the year, Papakura looking for their first win of the year. A big shout out to the Northcote Tigers main naming rights sponsor, the North City Reinforcing Limited, NRL. And also jersey sponsors the likes of the Good Home, Birkenhead, Barfoot and Thompson, Heaton Electrical, Play-Ons Physiotherapy, that's Dave Close, who's been involved with the Warriors Under-20s for a number of years now, Pac-Trans, Earth Movers, Macintosh Concrete, Pulse Networks, Install, Commercial, NZ Trade Group, Birkenhead Transport, Blundell Panel and Paint, North City Plumbing, Haven Renovations, Specialist Pool Services. Thank you very much for your support of the Northcote Club, and in particular the Northcote Tigers SAS Fox Memorial Premiership team. So the Northcote Tigers now are out onto the field. Papakura now making their way over. Papakura in the white. And I dare say by the end of this game those jerseys won't be so white, although the field has held up remarkably well considering the rain has now died off, but the wind certainly still around and will be a factor in this one.
You've done good work there, Corey, keeping everything on the flow. And there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background. Yeah,
and we do appreciate your patience on that one. Obviously, grassroots footy, sometimes these things do happen and they pop up unexpectedly, but great to see that Dion Whanga was up and walking as he left the field injured earlier in the game when he went over for a try in the far corner, didn't he? And obviously a few bodies fell on top of him and a bit of discomfort there, but lower back injury, up and walking, which is the main thing. So big shout out to him, and trust he recovers quickly as we see the boys now on the field just going through their final preparations.
Absolutely, and a big welcome in, and thank you for joining us here at the Auckland Rugby League on ARL TV, live streaming courtesy of our ARL board, because they look after the coin, and coming to you live through the aucklandleague.co.nz. Our live stream partners are Ctas, and they're up there in the elements bringing you the footage today, and we thank them, along of course with our major sponsors, SAS Sporting Apparel.
Yeah, tough old day to be a cameraman up on the roof. They'll feel like they've played 80 minutes by the end of it.
And what a mouth-watering clash this is shaping up to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much looking forward to this one. We highlighted earlier in the match plenty of storylines going on in this one. And in particular, well, we've named him the King of Northcote today, Dylan Moses. He's back to his junior club after a number of years at the Point Chevrolet Pirates. So very much looking forward to seeing Moe get a run for his junior club. And I know in particular, Mum, very happy to see him back. Bobby Rudolph, you caught up with Bobby pre-game, so a really nice vibe around this club right
Absolutely.
now.
And to the young fella in hospital, much love to you, mate, and I hope you enjoy the game. Big thumbs up.
So, as we get ready here, we can see on the screen referee Warwick Freeman, assisted by his touchies Corey Jewell and Sam Davis. Big shout out to the Auckland Rugby League's Referees Association. Give them a visit at arlrefs.co.nz or visit aucklandleague.co.nz for all the details on that one. It's going to be the Northcote Tigers with first use of the ball here. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round 4, SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, and it is the Tigers with first use. A bit of a dodgy one down low, but it's scooped up eventually.
Nice to see the rain's just buttoned off a wee bit now. They're only dealing with the wind out there. As the Tigers start grinding it out inside there. 20, 30.
So work it forward here, Northcote, and look, they'll really want to work on building on that momentum they generated last year, Troy, because they were absolutely fantastic to finish last season. Pretty unlucky to miss the playoffs in the end, so no doubt we'll be wanting to build on that. And well, they've got both of the reigning Auckland Rugby League Players of the Year in their squad.
Absolutely. Not Taylor Daniels off with injury today.
No, so Taylor's
He's back
taking the
on.
field, so overcame an injury, was a bit 50-50 certainly yesterday. But great work from David Close and the physio team. Got him onto the park. They did have a late withdrawal. Matthew Tafutu pulling out with an injury.
And if you've just joined us on the live stream, Northcote out here at their new strip.
And there we go. We've got an early knock on there, Troy. Sorry to interrupt you, but the ball has spilt loose. So Northcote with the early advantage. You mentioned that new strip the Tigers are rocking. Very smart indeed.
Absolutely, and I don't think there'd be any real estate left on those jerseys to sell. Mike, you've managed to sell every bit of piece of material there. Well done. So thank you to all of the sponsors for the Northcote Tigers and supporting their effort in the SAS Fox Memorial for 2018.
Of course, Northcote have brought through some really talented players over the last few years, in particular, the most recent of which Sam Cook. And how good was it to see Sam make his NRL debut at the start of this year? It's been a long and tough journey for Sam. Went over to Newcastle, spent some time over there, battled his way through in Australia, and was patient enough to bide his time. Eventually got his shot and really put his best foot forward as well. Now as we see Northcote get their first break through Nalu Tuigamala, a 29-year-old, come across from Ponsonby Rugby. Davis.
Sounds like a famous surname.
Indeed, particularly in rugby union circles and of course rugby league as well, the Wigan Warriors. Afu gets into the bottom of the ruck now. They come back towards the middle of the park. Trent Schonkel, another of those boys who went on to play in the Warriors reserves at the start of this year. One of a number of Auckland juniors forming the basis of that team. Now a little bit of footwork late at the line there from Amoa Tully, a late inclusion at fullback in the place of Morgan Timoti Cook, who was one of the injuries, the late injuries for this Northcote team. Xavier Rice now 10 metres out from the line.
Yes, young Schonkel is the son of Dave Schonkel, a Northcote legend.
Malu now dribbles a little kick in behind. It wasn't a bad kick, just a little bit too much on it, and Papakura will survive that one. So positive start there for the Seagulls after disappointing early mistake.
Quick tap and go.
Defending the line well. Tuha there, keen to get things going. A real changing of the guard for this Papakura team. Obviously, no Roman Hefo on the field today, primarily a head coaching role this year for Roman, although I do expect we'll see him in action throughout the year at different times. Won't be able to help himself.
You sure he's not stripped underneath that jacket you interviewed him in?
A great servant to the local game over the last few years, and I believe will also be the head coach of the Tonga New Zealand residents team who are going to play Auckland
June 2.
Queen's birthday weekend. June 2, as you mentioned, Troy. Tickets on sale next week. Keep an eye on the Auckland League website for details of that. Nicely fielded there by Tully at the back, who wears a heavy shot for his troubles. led there by Zion Tassisi in his 4th year with the Papakura Sea Eagles, coming across from the Mangere East Hawks. Waterson. James Waterson been a real standout for them as well on the right wing this year. Has made the KiwiLeagueCentral.com Team of the Week on a couple of occasions. Taylor Daniels there with a good carry forward. See heavy strapping on the knee there of Daniels. Afu.
Yeah, some good information on that site, and Team of the Week always comes up, and I know it gets followed avidly.
Finota. Afu now to Malu. Malu says we'll go high, kicks back, banana kick towards the middle of the park. It's just going to miss the uprights there. But the chase was good from Tully, so some positive signs early on there for the Northcote Tigers.
Some of the wind assisting on that kick too. You can see the trees blowing around in the background. You can see every sideline post is over, done, and gone. And pretty much every Toblerone. If you're having a look, we did tidy up the field this morning. However, we're lucky to see those actually on the park, let alone being in the trees in the bush.
Xavier Rice involved in the tackle there. A graduate of the famed St. Paul's College system, which has brought through so many wonderful players over the years. Now Jamal Hunt, he's wearing the 20, but starting at lock. Back from a stint in Australia where he played some reserve grade with North Sydney, as we see a drop ball there by the number 11, Elijah Mercury Liafa, originally named in the centres this week, but a straight swap with Ikwini Ropati, who fills the centre position. With Mercury Liafa in the back row.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going into the scrum. He just headed out to the back line. So they'll be wanting to retain their sets of 6, and I think both coaches, both in this game and the earlier game, was all about retention and, completing the 6 as per normal. But given the weather, they'll be looking to try and dominate that part of the game at least.
I think that's probably in the earlier game, Troy, where we probably saw Manurewa fall away in that second half there. They just shot themselves in the foot with some silly errors, and in particular penalties as well, which compounded possession against them. So completions are real key in this one, although the rain easing has certainly made the conditions a little more desirable down here at Birkenhead Memorial now, as Rice turns Finota back inside.
That's great! On the right side, no early!
Malu now goes to the line, turns Davis back on the inside. 10 metres out from the line. Afu appealing for the penalty. A little bit of wrestle going on there. Not too sure who's wrestling who. They're going to get a penalty at the end of it. It's going to be a mistake, actually. So Davis comes up with the error at the end of it.
Not happy with that.
Good defence from Papakura, Troy. That's twice on their line now, showing up in numbers. And on that occasion, forced a bit of a frustrated mistake, I dare say, out of Whitiora Davis.
Yeah, sort of similar start to the first game, where it's all been Northcote down on territory at this point. So getting ready to set the scrum.
No early's Northcote, I'll call it.
Front rows are locking in.
Both hands, and it goes. Out!
Looking for good line speed here by the Tigers.
One, move! Hold, go!
Taylor Daniels involved in that one as well.
Two, markers up
Reigning
and
Auckland
square.
Rugby League Player of the Year,
Hold, go!
along with his teammate on the bench today, Dylan Moses.
Tackle 3, you're on the line. Square it up.
Papakura now looking to speed the ruck up.
That's 4.
Sheldon Rogers, who was super impressive last year, has come up from the Waikato.
Fine now!
So making good yardage here are the Sea Eagles. And although they may be winless at this stage, their forward pack, one of their real boasts now is Willie Stowers, takes the line on, flicks the pass out the back door.
Tackle 1, let him up.
Cleaned up on that occasion by Northcote, but Stowers keen to
Go.
test the line early on.
That's 2, 8, stand! Oh,
Sean Cool fighting for the quick play of the ball there, looking for a penalty.
that's 3, move 10! That's
Xavier
3.
Rice now jumps into dummy half. Brings play out towards this right edge. Tiaho to Daniels. They duck back inside. Jordan Tiaho, an interesting story, has come up from the Hallswell Club in Christchurch. 20 years of age. the real standouts
Play on.
across the opening round. Now he's been flattened there by, I think it's Jamal Hunt. Waterson cleans up with the tackle.
One, move. On me, guys. Hold. Go. Let's go. Let him
So
up,
it's
let him
Papakura
up.
now as the game
Hold.
just about hits the 10-minute mark. Rogers jumps in. Bit of footwork there by Mercury Liafa.
Let's play. No, let him go. Go.
Jamal Hunt now on the ball. Takes it into the heart of the Northcote defence. 3 short of halfway.
Good work, guys.
Rogers spins it out the back. Hunt to Ikahihifo. Ball is loose. Waterson's picked it up. Look out, he's got some toe, this kid. Turns it back inside there, and my apologies. That is, in fact, Casey Smith wearing the number 3. So scrappy stuff here from both teams, and you can see just how much wind is around there with a bit of movement on the camera.
On me, guys.
So a bit of a rusty start for both teams, you could say, Troy. Both just sort of starting to feel their way into this game.
Yeah, a little bit rusty, and I think the weather, as you said, is playing a big part to it as they both settle down. And I think, both sides are still looking to complete, constant sets of 6. I know I keep coming back to that, but the weather certainly plays a part in it. And here we go. Looks like Sea Eagles are going to try and shift the ball now.
Good carry there from Ikwini Ropati. Sheldon Rogers now benefiting off a bit of second phase. A few Northcote boys down in back play. Little chip kick over the top by Hunt. Well read though by Moa Tully, who does well there, the Northcote number 1.
One, hold, go. Good work, guys.
So now Northcote tasked with carrying it out from the line. Tuigamala. Donnelly jumps into dummy half, goes looking for a bit of work. One of a number of rugby union converts who have come over to Northcote. Xavier Rice plays at the line. Afu spins it out to Malu. Malu with a long driven kick, finds some grass there. He did well in the end there, Eko Malu.
Tackle one, let him up.
And Papakura get back to it. Samuel Nati there returning at the 18-year-olds. Spent some time at the Manukau Magpies and Mangere East Hawks. His first year with Papakura.
Mark up, second marker.
He is one of the boys part of that Jersey Flag system at the New Zealand Warriors right now, bringing through the next crop.
Hands out. Hold.
Daniels joins the tackle late. Nice carry forward there, I believe, by Ikahifo.
Hold, go. That's your fine ball. Just towards the line, guys. Go, good work.
Rogers finds Hunt.
Play it out,
Hunt puts a
play on.
little kick in over the top, but it's read easily there by Northcote. Taken a little high there, perhaps. The Northcote kick return was Josiah Afu, who clutched at the neck. Daniels now takes it into the heart.
Hell, 2. We mean 8. Hold, go.
Malu shifts down this left edge.
Tackle 3, 17, roll off. Come up.
We did see last year Northcote probably tended to favour their right edge a little. This is where Taylor Daniels was occupying. Now as you see a break up the middle of the park. Tamati Leach.
Go, you're off.
Afu jumps out. Short to Shomku.
That's your final. Make the mark.
Tiaho puts boot to ball. It's a tricky one at the back. It's spilt. Eventually cleaned up there by Papakura. We wait for confirmation on where that's going. That could have gone either way. I think it is going to be a Papakura error at the end of it.
Taken out by Papakura.
The scrum to pack down with a Northcote feed, it looks like. So the scrappy start to this game in some ways continues. Completion's pretty poor from both teams to start this one.
Lines up. Let's go here. We're here. Lines up. Come on. Yeah, hold them down. Let's have another good scrum, guys.
So the scrum to pack down.
All heads in. Last man down.
Tiaho to feed.
I'll call it, Kura. And it goes.
Kept a couple of big men out of the scrum for this one. Davis is going to go one out. And they'll be looking for a quick play the ball off this now. Are they going to build something out towards this left edge? Papakura doing their very best to slow things down, and they do a good job of it. Afu, terrible pass out of dummy half. Misses Malu, luckily cleaned up by Amoa Tuli, who's had some classy touches already, has the fullback. Shomkul takes it forward, still driving the legs, Big Trent.
Don't go in early, guys. That's 3.
Malu spins it. Tiaho to Daniels. Daniels now puts the fend on, looking for the little flick out the back. Taylor Daniels is going to go very close. The ball has come loose, but that is great defence, great scrambling defence from the Papakura Seagulls. They deny Taylor Daniels in the corner. Bundling them into touch there. It's great scramble defence, so they've looked pretty good on their line. Coach Roman Hefo touched on it in the preambles. We built up towards kickoff. He said the defence has been improving, although they're without a victory so far this year. He's liked what he's seen, and the gap between them and the opposing teams is reducing with every game they play. Napara.
I think Papakura have been a wee bit of a surprise package, haven't they, coming into this season?
Yeah, look, it's important to remember this was the team that just a couple of years ago was the champions of the Auckland First Division. They've endured a bit of a tough time since then, particularly last year, missing out on the finals altogether. Big contact there, racing out of the line. It was a hit on footy. Toigamala, who came out of the line looking for it. Mercury Liafa now, a bit of footwork at the line. Tamati Leach involved in the tackle.
Hold. Go.
Tasesi wants a quick play of the ball. Might get a penalty at the end of it.
He's going to let him do it.
Stand up, says referee. Hunt looks to the sky.
Okay.
Well fielded again at the back by Tully. We mentioned in the build-up, Troy, he was a late call-up in the place of Morgan Tamati Cook, but he's looked good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just about to say too, sorry mate, Seagulls first time down here in this 20.
That's 2, go.
Yeah, by my count, their first set in good ball position. So they're building nicely, and you feel like right now, probably just getting the upper hand of this arm wrestle. You're going to get the penalty at the end of it, so that won't help. Jamal Hunt there, spending a little too long in the tackle. Northcote to kick for touch. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the broadcast, our second live stream game of the day. Earlier today we saw Ponsonby Ponies down the Manioa Marlins 24 points to 12 in the curtain raiser here at Birkenhead War Memorial Park. This is the first of our double headers for the year today. Every weekend from now on we're bringing you double the local league action with double headers throughout the rest of the season. A couple of Crown Lift Truck Shamans Cups games coming up before we get into SAS Fox Memorial Premiership double headers in the second part of the year. Casey Smith now to tap and go, a bit of a delay as they fetch the Steeden out of the bush here at Birkenhead War Memorial. Taylor Daniels is the man to restart things.
That's 2. Move now. Hold
you
on,
can hear the shout out from the trainer there, wanting a wee bit more league drive out of the players as they hit the line.
Nice place short. Appeals of forward pass. It's all good, says our referee. Now they dart out of dummy half. Afu ragdoll to ground in the end.
Here we are. Hold, go.
Malu goes to the line, dinks a little kick in behind. Nicely cleaned up though at the back by Tuha.
A little bit of niggle on that, and we don't get to see the end of it.
Just get up. He's milking it.
Samuel Nati there making some good yardage out of dummy half. The back's getting involved here, and another carry there. On that occasion, good line speed by the Northcote Tigers. Great to see David Barner down here running the water for the Tigers today as well. Of course, David cracked the NRL a few years ago with the Warriors. Also played a fair bit of footy with the Newcastle Knights back in Northcote now. Awesome to see him helping out his local junior club as well.
Stripped it.
Ball is loose. Afu's picked it up. The trainer says, I better get out of here quickly. Rice now wants a quick play of the ball. Looking left and right. He's going to go right. Spins it to Tiaho. Tiaho to Daniels. Daniels shifts it on quickly. Casey Smith. Going to go very close here is the little number 3. Swing it back to the middle. Tiaho to Rice, who's been heavily involved early on in this one. Good line speed though from Kura. They look like they want to play the middle battle, Northcote. Darting out of dummy half, Tuli.
Stay on the line.
Don't be surprised to see Fitiora Davis get on the end of this one. Instead, it's a pretty ordinary pass out of dummy half. And Kura survive again. So once again, wrapped through that Papakura Seagulls defence, who have been stoic on their line throughout the opening 20 minutes of this one. Been tested on a number of occasions now. Come with the perfect answer every time.
Movement. Hold. Three. Let him up. Let him up.
They get the penalty at the end of that one. Well worked there by Junior Napara, fighting on the ground, and they get the penalty at the end of it. Troy, it's always an interesting dynamic when a former player comes back into coach in terms of what they change, all those sorts of things. But Roman Hefo, certainly, I think, well respected within the playing group, and certainly knows his stuff. Has played at a high level, you know, technically a pretty sound player. I'm sure he'd be that way as a coach as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be fair to say he's got the respect of his boys. And I think, you know, the start of the season for them, they were down on some personnel. They managed to, you know, fill a few positions, and you know, they only just lost to Point Chevalier last week, who are at the top of the table. So I think they're in pretty good stead. And at this point in time, you know, it seems to be a pretty good arm wrestle.
Of course, Roman Hefo's CV does include the 2013 World Cup with the USA. American Samoan born as Roman. Rogers now jumps out of dummy half. They hand it off.
Still going, this young fella.
To Hunt, who has been excellent. Rogers now gets on the end of the ball now. They've got a little bit of energy about them. Suddenly, Papakura, footy, Tuiloma, footy. He's going to go all the way. There's the opening try, ladies and gentlemen. Tuiloma, footy, and he does it all himself. Let's take a look at the SAS replay because it was pretty impressive, Troy. It started with a good carry from Jamal Hunt, which you pointed out. He got to a quick play of the ball at the end of it.
Nice little quick feet there. Just bought enough time. 2 defenders in.
See there the footwork from Footy. Breaks the first one, breaks the second, breaks the third, breaks the fourth and the fifth, and says, hang on, I'm home here. And the spectacular dive at the end as
Fairly
well.
knocked himself out going across the line.
Perhaps not used to the spectacular finishes, the big fella, but fantastic work there from Tuiloma Footy. The 28-year-old interchange man, previously with the Otahu Leopards. He's back in his 3rd year with the Papakura Seagulls this year. And on that occasion, spectacular effort from the big fella. So Willie Stowers to attempt the conversion from in front of the posts. Willie Stowers himself, a very experienced campaigner, played over in Australia and a real veteran of the Auckland club scene as well. His experience,
played a few seasons with Roman as well, mate.
Absolutely, and I think you know, probably the link between himself and Coach Roman Hefo pretty important as well in terms of executing the plan Hefo has in mind. Stowers hits it, it's got a bit of curl on it, and it is good. So it is the Papakura Seagulls 6, the Northcote Tigers 0. 23 minutes gone here at Birkenhead War Memorial Park.
So, first half of the first half, 20 minutes in-ish, and Papakura Seagulls put some points on the board, and really against the flow, to be fair. You know, it'd been all Northcote there in the first part of it. They had a lot of territory, and, you know, Kura managed to break out and get a try, and what a great try it was too. There was a lot of work to get that ball across the line.
Yeah, and probably built off their defence at the other end. They survived a number of sets on the line there, and looked like they got some confidence off that. As we see a great kickoff from Northcote, it's going to find touch, and they're happy with that one. That was a clever kickoff there, found a bit of green in between all of the Papakura jerseys, and in these conditions that's all it needs. The ball skims off the bottom and into touch, so they wrestle possession back, and they will get the ball from the goal line dropout in a minute. Papakura in no real hurry here.
And you feel there's a little bit of anticipation around the park as they wait for the arrival of Dylan Moses.
Well, I know there isn't a commentary box, and just as we say that, they're going to get away with that, I think, Northcote. It looked like it may have come off the knee.
Play on.
Northcote more than happy to play on. Daniels now takes it forward.
On me, guys. Let
Doesn't
him up.
quite look himself so far, Taylor Daniels. That injury perhaps bugging him. The left knee heavily strapped now as Xavier Rice darts out of the first one, but there's a mistake at the end of that. And look at this, Papakura coming from everywhere to congratulate each other here. It's getting infectious now, this spirited defence of the Seagulls. So scrum to pack down, Papakura feed, 25 minutes gone here in round 4 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. A big shout out to our principal sponsors, SAS Sporting Apparel.
Okay, down we go. Come on, guys.
Bringing you the Auckland First Division.
Kura head in. And it goes. And it goes. Ow!
Rogers collects the ball at the back of the scrum.
Tackle one. Move! Hold shut. That's two. Square
Fresh legs on the park by the look of things for Northcote in the shape of Joe Bywater. A late call-up to the squad in the place of Matthew Tafutu, who was a late injury withdrawal.
Go.
Great carry forward there by Tasesi. Takes them up over the 40.
And go.
Nice little drop on the inside.
Jamal Hunt, another good carry there
Let him up. Hold, go.
from the man fresh back in New Zealand after a fair stint in Australia. We mentioned earlier he played some NRL reserve grade for the North Sydney Bears, spent some time with both the South Sydney Rabbitohs and Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, alongside little bro Phoenix Hunt, who you're going to see in action soon off the bench. Was a real standout for the South Sydney Under-20s last year. Graduate of the Otahu College team, where they played under coach Roman Hefo. As you mentioned there, Troy, nice little offload. Eko Malu now dancing his way through.
Move.
He scooped on it.
That's 4. Let him up. Come on,
nice start out of the dummy half. He's starting to get a bit of a roll on.
There by Sheldon Rogers. Tiaho, double palm, plays up the line. Casey Smith there on that occasion. Ball spills loose.
Scrum back here, guys.
So completion's a real issue for Northcote early in this one.
The rhythm of the game sort of starting and stopping, starting and stopping.
Go, Curry. I got.
All scrums today haven't been a big race to get in there to pack down, have they?
In time for a bit of a breather. Could will be keen to get things going again. Got the upper hand in this one right now. Always come loose, just as I say that. Put the pressure on them.
Off his own player's foot.
And it looks like it's Phoenix Hunt, fresh on the field, who's come up with the error there. I've just given him a wrap as well. Perhaps I should stop talking people up.
Well, here we are.
A lot of broken play with the scrums as we wait again, ready to set.
Okay, down we go, guys. Down we go.
A lot of conversation going on out there in regards to what it's shaping up to look like.
Away we go. 2 hands.
Looks like some fresh legs warming up on the sideline for Papakura in the shape of Sydney Ini.
That'll do. That's one.
James Waterson.
Here we are, guys.
Gets to a quick play the ball. Afu now jumps out. Good defence again by Rogers. Mercury Liafa joins late.
Let him go. That's it. Let him go. That's 2. Stay on the line, guys.
Tigers on the prowl again down here in the inside the 20.
Sorry, buddy.
Play short there. Tuigamala leaves the ball behind. Scooped up by the try scorer, Footy. Bywater comes in to finish off the tackle, so just a little disjointed so far. And as we can see there in the number 15 jersey, Dylan Moses back on the field.
Surrender. 2. That's 2. Go.
Sporting a new man bun by the look of things as well. Bit of a change up in style.
Far be it for me to know about hair fashion and bald. Curly.
Well said, well said. Stowers now jumps into dummy half. Looks out towards his left, plays short. Ika Hefo coughs it up, so keen to play at the line, but on that occasion, Ika Hefo spills the ball. So the stop-start nature continues. Plenty of errors in this one. They'll both want to clean it up and do so pretty quickly as we enter the final 10 minutes of the first half.
There it is here. Well. Okay, down we go, guys. Come on. All heads in. You're good, mate.
Tiaho to feed the scrum.
I'll call it, Kura.
30 metres off their own line.
Help! Good scrum. Tackle one, move. Keep coming, guys. Good work. That's two. Stand up now, head gear. Hold. Go. That's three. Head gear. Move. On me. Hold. Hold. Go. Tackle four. Roll away. That's your ball, off the ball.
So Northcote now, Tuigamala pushing up heavy on the line. Malu dinks a little kick in behind. It's just going to miss the upright there and go a little too deep. So it is back to the 20 to restart play.
In the middle, in the middle.
The Seagulls will be looking to get it out of here.
That's zero. Let him up. Sorry. No. Tackle one, move. Let him up.
And a little bit of a slap thrown on the tackle there. So back into it now. Papakura working it out through Hunt.
Two, off the ball. Oh, go.
Jump out of dummy half now through Phoenix Hunt.
Roll the road markers.
Fresh legs on the park as well in the shape of Kimi Uasi. Ball out the back by Nati.
Tackle four.
Rory Marshall Barton, the Christchurch-born centre. Spent a bit of time with Manurewa. Ini.
That's your fine, no. Make the mark.
12 metres off the line now. Kimi Uasi, who looks to have jumped into the dummy half position now. Stowers dinks a little kick in over the top. Chase isn't great, although it's spilt, and that has fortuitously fallen to the hands of Aquila Tuha, who dives on the ball. We're going to wait for confirmation from our referee. And it looks like it's all good, ladies and gentlemen. The try is waved. And Aquila Tuha adds Papakura's second. Let's take a look now on the SAS Sporting replay. You see here, it was a hard one for Donnelly to take at the back. And in the end, just about clean misses it. And Tuha dives on it and goes over in the corner. So Papakura Sea Eagles 10, Northcote Tigers 0, kick to come.
It was a grouse little kick. It was well weighted considering he was kicking into the wind. And we've seen a number of tries today off the back of little kicks. So may well be in good stead for the rest of this match anyway.
All right, thank you.
So Stowers to line this one up from just about up against the sideline here at Birkenhead War Memorial Park. You can see in the background there the flash scoreboard here at Birkenhead War Memorial showing off all of the club sponsors, and there are a number of them. Stowers, and it is away to the left, caught the wind badly there, so the score remains Papakura Sea Eagles 10, North City Reinforcement, Northcote Tigers 0.
You hear the hooter, 6 minutes, Sam, just yell it out. I may not be able to hear it.
So about 5 minutes to go in this one. It is Papakura firmly in control. And they've done it. They've done it off the back of excellent go forward. Their forward pack has been strong today. Certainly getting the better of the Tigers so far in this one. And off the back of it, the likes of Sheldon Rogers have benefited. Willie Stowers has had some classy touches as well.
Yeah, put them in good stead, and Mania Holmes, the official sponsor of the Papakura Sea Eagles, they'll be happy that they're out with a 10-point lead, considering they've only been down here a couple of times into the Tigers' territory.
Play on. Surrender. 1. Here we are. No early. Hold. Go. Tackle 2.
So a real test here for Northcote. They're coming off back-to-back defeats. Test of character coming up for them. How do they respond? Can they afford another try before halftime? You feel like that would really put a dent in their hopes.
4. Markers up and square. No early, guys. I'll call.
Not if you're Jeff Morton. They'll just be warming up. They'll have the halftime chat.
Head off the ball there. Moses has hit someone there on suspicion. Play on is the call. Referees had a quick word to him. Perhaps lucky to get away from
outside. All okay.
any consequences on that one. Tully again fields it well at the back on the full. Returns it, needs to be careful not to get too close to that sideline here in these greasy conditions. Ball has spilt loose. There's a knock on there. So Papakura once again force an error, and it's off aggressive defence, getting up in the face of these Northcote players, and Tully on that occasion.
Big congratulations party going on over there.
Yeah, a bit of a loose carry it looked like from Tully, but great work from Papakura, who now have the chance to really finish this half on a high and take a good lead into the break.
On your side. Hey, down we go, guys. Come on.
Concerns for our safety all around the ARL trailer, Corey. Never mind, we will call on.
Hunt gets things back underway. Ropati, Samoan born centre, 24 years of age. Sydney, a late call-up into the squad.
Good calling, mate.
Phoenix Hunt now jumps out, finds
Nice tackle.
older brother Evian.
Follow me, hold. Go.
Speaking of Hunts, here's the third of them, Jamal, the three brothers.
Tackle 4. You're on the line. On the line.
Kimiwasi, Willie Stowers. Now they've raced out the line here, Northcote. They may be a little short on the edge. Ropati sums it up nicely. Little ball back inside the Tuha. A great tackle down low by Ted Donnelly.
Great scramble.
Nutty to Stowers. Dabs a little kick in behind. Trouble here for Northcote.
Oh!
Kimiwasi, I think the ball's beaten everyone. They dodged a bullet there, the Tigers, but boy, that was either very brave or they were a little unaware of just how close Kimiwasi was there, Troy.
Well, maybe didn't think it was his own, the opposition's footsteps. Referee wasn't happy with that, and they get back for the restart.
So Northcote, they need a big set here. They need to complete first of all, but they need to start denting this Papakura line because this forward pack of the Seagulls growing in stature with every set they take right now. Here comes Taylor Daniels. Takes it into the heart.
Hold. Go.
Moses.
Play on.
Ball has spilt loose. Play on is the call. Scooped up by Northcote. Fortuitous one there, perhaps for the Tigers. Veti Nabua. 40 out from the line. Malu to Moses. Moses dabs a little kick in behind. Donnelly is the chaser. Cleaned up by Nati at the back. Good kick chase though by Moses. That's excellent work there from the veteran,
Let him up. Come on, make it. Come on, guys.
who appears to be playing a middle forward sort of role today. I spoke to Jeff Morton pre-match, asked him what the plan was for Dylan Moses. He said a bit of everything. Of course, last year did feature regularly Troy in the halves for Point Chevalier as well. Can play lock or on the edge.
Yeah, that's where he's normally found. They're trying to get a penalty there. Great run from the dummy half.
Phoenix Hunt now is on the loose here. Phoenix Hunt, he's still going. Phoenix Hunt, he's only got one more to beat. Good cover defence eventually there. Casey Smith brings him down. Looking for the quick play of the ball. It's going to be a penalty there. That could be a sin bin. It is going to be a sin bin.
Gone.
Casey Smith's on his way to the bin. And fair enough, that in terms of professional fouls, that is about as clear as they come.
Professional foul, he was trying to get up and play it.
Probably didn't need that coming into the half-time break, and as the replay comes up, we have a wee bit of a look-see here as he held him down on the tackle. Referee wasn't happy with that.
And in Casey Smith's defence, I think they were pretty well short there on numbers if he hadn't given up the foul, although in hindsight, 10 minutes without a man on the field, you probably maybe forfeit the try in the corner there. But anyway, back to the action we go. Stowers goes to the line, dabs a little kick in behind. That is impatient stuff there from Papakura, really. I know the clock is ticking down, but boy, I thought if they kept it in their hands there with the numbers advantage, they'll probably chance.
Well, they had a wee bit of success off that boot. Maybe they thought they were going to collect another.
So Donnelly now brings it out. They just need to get to half-time here. Do the North City reinforcement, Northcote Tigers. Dylan Moses spots up Willie Stowers, runs at him. Stowers holds on, does well in the tackle. There goes the siren in the background, and that's how it will end in the first half. Mania Holmes, Papakura Seagulls 10, North City reinforcement, Northcote Tigers 0. Half-time here in round 4 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership.
Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 10-minute break as the players go off and warm up. You get now to catch up on a wee bit of captain's chat. Earlier in the year, we managed to catch up with a number of the captains from the SAS Fox, Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup, and also the Farrelly Photos Women in League captains. And we'll find out a wee bit what's been happening around the teams as they've been in pre-season training. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I can hear Sam quite easily, I can't hear you. So that over there, when they all knock on like that, I'll say, well, I'll wait for your signal. But
my name is Alamonti Fina. I'm from the Mercedes Rugby League Club. Probably be a guy called Mahafu Briggs. Always talks too much. Does more talking than he does training, probably.
Hi, my name is Savannah. You're Sadie Purcell. I'm from the Ctas Roosters women's team. Most annoying player. I have to say my sister, Joanna Purcell.
Phil King again, or he's the most annoying person at our club. It has to be Swape. Kabaliku, that guy just is annoying. I'm sure everybody agrees with me as well.
Aaron Altai, Pontaby Ponies, most annoying person. At the moment, he's a new player, Iwati. Just does this.
My name is Danielle Pina and I play for Ponies. My most annoying person on my team is Tangata. He's quite annoying, he's our trainer.
Hello, my name's Conor Babbitt. I play for the Ctas Roosters.
Who's the most annoying person in your team?
Probably Leon.
Hi, my name is Jerome Spegel and I'm from Bay Russell. Most annoying person at my club, probably Shin Penny.
My name is Tanasi Kuya. I play for the Rugby League. The most annoying person in our club would be Sean Matu. He knows too much about the game, talks too much, and when he's on the field, he doesn't really do much. Except on D. Yeah.
Hey, my name is Adam Davies. I'm from East Coast Bays. Sorry.
Who's the most annoying person in your team and why?
It'd probably be my brother Luke. He's dyed his hair blonde and he just looks like a bit of a clown at the moment, but hey, it's family.
My name's Jamal Hunt from Papakura Seagulls. Most known person would probably have to be Sunia. Obviously, he's a bit of a chatterbox. Sometimes I don't think he showers before he comes to the game and doesn't wash his shorts, so he's a bit smelly.
Soali Makawi from Poncheville. Most annoying person at our club, that's a tight one, probably between Francis Ledger and Gumby. Senefeao. They're just annoying. Gumby, just even though when he's wrong, he still thinks he's right. Francis Ledger just walks around with a strap, just thinks he's the man. So yeah, Gumby and Sis.
Oh, sorry, my name is Blake James and I play for Hibiscus Coast. Who's the most annoying person in my team? It would have to be the coach, Neil Duff. Yeah, he likes to talk about how he can get on the field all the time, but we all know he won't.
Is that going to get you dropped?
Is that going to get you dropped? Most probably.
Hey, my name is Marco Young. I play for the East Family Wellington Warriors. The most annoying person would be Samson Javier, because he's tall and he's got too much gold tooth. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Akoyamo and I play for the Bushman Bulldogs. The most annoying person at my club is definitely Leon Latour. He takes the cup, basically, in all areas of life.
Crystal Rata, I play for the Manigua Islands. The most annoying person would have to be Crystal Styles. She's a real pain. Constantly annoying doing all her William Wairua stuff, so yeah, she's the most annoying person in our team.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Nova and I'm from Wairua Seagulls.
Who's the most annoying person in your team and why?
I think my sisters. They annoy me at home and on the field.
I look Winter Stein, Papakura Panthers.
Who's the most annoying person in your team?
Easy. Brandon, if you're watching this, you know it's you. Show up to training with your ladder. I don't know why you got a ladder on the top of your van for. You don't need a ladder to look over fences. Right? Brandon, you know.
Hi, my name is Jason Toe and I play for the Franklin Storm.
The most annoying person in our team would be, I guess we have to be Frank Pumari. I think he's just always out to try and injure players in our team, even if it's just a light post session. He's always trying to take someone down.
My name is Davila Fukimola and I play for the Tahu Leopards.
Team. And why?
Probably Lily. She's got so much energy. It just never stops. Has no filter. And we don't want to be serious. She makes the girls laugh and kind of takes me off. It's fun. Yeah.
I play for Newland Stakes. My name is Junior Wan. 19 years of age. My person is Jaime. It's just always up my ass. It's a funny bitch.
And there's also Scarity from Manigua Islands.
What's the annoying person in your team?
Probably my coach.
Is that going to get you dropped?
Nah.
Matt Luisi, Wairua Seagulls. Most annoying person in the club is probably Dominic Falungu. Most talented, but drinks too much.
Royden Gillett, Mount Albert Lions.
Who's the most annoying player in your team?
Probably Cortez, because
Tyler Daniels, Northcote Tigers.
most annoying person on the team.
Nothing. Me.
Self.
Yeah.
Natanya V from Megris. Most annoying person will probably be the coach. But sick of hearing his voice all pre-season. So, yeah.
And as the teams start to run back on, we're all good. And as you would have seen there at the beginning of that file, June 2, New Zealand Tongan residents will be playing the Auckland team at Mounts.